All right, I've started work on this rough looking old yard machines mower. The first thing I did was repair and adjust that wheel adjuster right there on the front right, because it was wonky and bent and not doing right. So I worked on that one. That one's nice and straight. And I've cleaned and lubricated all these wheel adjusters. This mower's just been sitting up like this probably for years. And so now these wheel adjusters are flexible and they'll move up and down. I did manage to hurt my right shoulder repairing this wheel. What I did was I took the whole assembly off and put some vice grips right in there once the assembly was off, so I could bend this a little, because it was not lining up with these slots. It had been probably either hit or bent or something, so I had to bend it back, and I used my right arm to do that, and man, did I hurt myself in my right shoulder. So I may not be pulling a cord on a mower for a while. If I do, I'll use my left arm, which is always a challenge. But this is also the final episode of getting this old vintage self-propelled snapper going, because it runs now and runs great. I'm not going to start it, but I mowed my back pasture with it to test it out, and it was cutting grass about a foot tall. The self-propelled was working. I have a Willow cable here that's been spliced, and it does work. I don't know if you can see that, but I do have to push it down with my hand because I don't have the plastic casing here that this slides in. But at least I can shut it on and off from up where the operator is. So this snapper is running great. So thanks for hanging in with me on that one. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I did that I didn't show you, but anyway, we're all caught up on that one. So I've started this yard machines. It says it's a 22-incher, and I've taken the spring off of the kill switch because I wanted to see if it had compression, and I'll show you what compression looks like. So I'm just going to push one finger here. I'm going to turn this. And see, that's easy, 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 easy. And right there, did you see that? That's the compression. And there's some more right there. And see how it breaks free? Easy, 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 easy. And then that's what you want. That means this mower's probably gonna run okay, unless it's an oil burner. I mean, it may be burning oil. There is no oil in the crankcase, and fortunately for me, I always like this. I don't have to tip it up on the side. It's an older one, and so it's got a drain plug. And so I'm gonna drain what little tiny bit of horribly black oil is in here and get it out. And then I'll put some old oil in it. I don't want to put brand new oil in it until I find out if it's worth repairing. But I'm going to take that drain plug out. As you can see here, that blade end looks good. That one is sheared off, so I'm sure this blade is not balanced. It's a 22-incher. I'm not sure if I've got a 22-incher in stock, but we'll see. If not, I'll put a 21 on there. It's not that big of a deal. The other thing I'm going to have to do on this mower is change the spark plug. As you can see, that's what's in there. That little thing might fit a chainsaw, maybe. There is no air vane. The plastic air vane that goes on this type mower is just missing. And I don't know how long the cord is. I'll have to test that because it's not run up to the little holster there, little eye hook. So as you can see, what I'm going to be doing, the first thing I did was to fix these wheels. So they're all clean and lubricated, and they adjust now. They were rusted shut like most of them are when you just leave them out in the weather. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you is going to be a problem. Right here, what's this? See that movement? This is either just loose or it's broken. That's the intake manifold, and that won't work. It'll let too much air in and destroy the fuel mixture. So let's set this mower down and let's see if we can do a few things to it. Even with my bad shoulder, I'm going to try to do a couple of things with it. So let's get it lined up here. I hope I've got enough battery to do this today. All right, let me get my gloves on. I'm sorry about all the groaning and stuff, but my shoulder really hurts right now. I think the first thing I'm going to do is see if I've got enough cord on here. Oh man, that hurts. Use this hand. Okay, I think I've got enough cord. So I'm going to go ahead and run it up here and do the eye hook. As you can see, they've got the eye hook on the wrong side. They got the eye on this side. I want the eye to the outside. So let me change that. Oops, fell on the ground. Got that in there. Run my cord through. Come on. There we go. See if I can find where that little plastic screw head went. Where'd you go? There it is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Maybe I've got enough arm strength to screw this thing in. That's about it. There we go. Oh, man. Hope I hadn't done permanent damage up there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this old plug out. Looks like it's been in there for years. The wrong one. So let's see, I think that's going to be a small spark plug socket. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a small one. Let's see where's my spark plug socket guys at? Where are you? There we go. No, this may be too big. Yep, that's too big. Maybe this one. Yeah, that's it. So this is going to fit this little plug. It's a 3/4. I got to get this plug out of here because it's the wrong one. At least I've got two arms, so I can use my left. All right. I think this plug is good. I know it's not completely bad, I'll put it that way, so at least for now, I'll put this one in. It's an original Briggs & Stratton spark plug. And that's the full size, so I'll be able to use my old Toyota socket on this thing. So that's tight enough. I know the gap is correct because I was using it the other day. That's too loose. Let me squeeze that with some pliers. It's not grabbing the plug well enough. So let me try and squeeze that down a little bit. Oh, yeah, I just crushed it. Crushed it good. I may have ruined it. Let's see. We'll find out. See if I can get it on there now. Okay, yeah, that grip's pretty good. All right, let's look under the blower housing and see how bad it is. And I need, I guess I don't see my socket wrench, so I'm just going to use this right here. Use my electric drill and get this 3/8 out. Man, this shoulder's killing me. Did that work? I don't know. I think I got it going. I think what I'll do is take this blower housing off and see what's under there, and then I'm going to drain that little bit of oil out. There's three 3/8 head screws I'm taking out here. There's 2 of them. There we go. All right, there's one completely out. Uh-oh. I think one of my, what was that? I guess it must have been sitting on something. Or maybe this thing slipped, I don't know. Let's see. Something slipped. I'll figure that out later. Got the second one out. And the third one. Kind of stay away from this in case there's critters under there. Oh, okay, the little air vane is there, it's just broken. Let's see if we got any weird things under there. Okay, no wasp nest, no spiders. Lucky me, lucky me. So that's broken. And the manifold, I think may just be loose. There's 2 1/4-inch screws there. I'm going to tighten them and see if that snugs it up or not. I'm going to put this on real low torque now. This is going into plastic. Now I'm going to touch this and, yeah, see that's firm now. Okay, so you can see what I'm going to have to do next. I'm going to get what little bit of bad oil's in there, get that out. Then I'm going to go into my spare parts and get me a air vane here that isn't broken off on the end that attaches to that. Okay, so tune back in and we're going to see if we can get this old clunker running.